Media Bad. Back again. ATLA Bad, by the way.
Yep, regularly producing the content that the viewers want to hear.
Indeed, the Squid Game Bad video was like
Such a banger.
a year and a half.
It had to be. It had to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're back with ATLA Theories this time. ATLA Theory Alignment Chart. If you could read the title of the video.
Yep. So we're going to be talking about some Avatar: The Last Airbender theories and what we think about them, and rating them on the great axis, the definitely to no way,
Yeah.
and I love it to hate it axis.
Justin, to preface this, I stole this from YouTuber Glidus. You should subscribe to him, by the way, if you like Game of Thrones.
But if you're watching this, I don't know how you would not have heard of him if you somehow managed to find us. So.
Yeah.
But, maybe someday.
All right. So, first off,
a theory.
About theories. Theories are anything that is not confirmed by the canon. Except for ships. Ships are bad. We're not talking about ships in this video. Unless they're, really relevant, but I didn't include any on this chart.
Yeah.
The only one that might have made it on this list is Sokka and Toph. Because that's, kind of real. But everything else is just fuck it all. We're talking about theories that
world building
do not involve relationships of the characters, of the child characters.
Yeah. World building and character oriented details.
Yeah, and there's also one that's about the production of the show.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get to it then.
Yeah. Just start it out. Oh shit. Nitla.
Not The Last Airbender.
Yeah. Not The Last Airbender. I put this one on here just because it makes sense as the first one to go on.
Well, give the theory a little description first.
Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. There are airbenders that survived Sozin obliterating the air nomads. It's just it makes sense. How are there not air nomads that are not at the temples? They're nomads.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty hard pill to swallow that Aang really is the last airbender. A complete 100% speed run of a culture like that is it's I don't think that is it's pretty difficult to do when they live in the mountains and they're nomads, and actually they live on 4 different sides of the planet as well. They're not a centralized nation like the Earth King or Earth Kingdom. So it does seem feasible, and also there's a lot of unknowns about air nomad culture in general.
Yeah.
Completely.
Not gonna get into whoever Patik is in this theory, but there's plenty of things that could be airbenders.
Yeah.
Evidence that there could be survivors other than what's actually confirmed by the quote canon. Because
indeed,
if you've read The Lost Adventures, you know about Zhao telling Aang that they set up traps for the air nomads that survived, which I assume that The Lost Adventures is canon. It was made by whatever the guy's name is, Kunetsu. Yeah. So it's just confirmed, but I want to put it on anyway because I'm not sure if I trust The Lost Adventures, to be honest. There's a lot of wacky shit in there.
Fair. All right.
Next one.
What else we got?
Also, should we have? This chart is pretty self-explanatory, but I feel like we should explain it before we go on more.
Sure. Yeah. So we definitely think that Aang is not actually the last airbender.
Just explain the chart and the axes.
Right. So we're pretty convinced by the evidence that we see. We don't particularly feel one way or the other about.
Yeah.
I guess I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't care about the not the last airbender theory. It doesn't matter which side of the. My rule generally is that if it's touching the axis, it's on the axis. It's right in the middle there.
Yeah.
I don't think I like this theory or hate it, but it is on the definitely side of things.
Yeah, pretty decent reasons to believe it's true.
All right. Anyway, Harmony Tea. This theory is that Iroh's love for tea is more than just, a quirky thing that he has. It's a part of his character being integrated with the 4 nations. The thing is that the earth is used for his cup, the water is used for the tea, fire heats up the tea, and air cools the tea. So I mean, it's an interesting theory. I love it a lot because it connects Iroh to the Four Nations even more than he already is. There's like two other scenes that do that in the series, but I just it's a cool theory. I don't think they thought about this.
Yeah.
It's just a coincidence,
Yeah.
as things tend to be with the series.
Yeah.
It's a really cool theory. I really
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, it's a nice little. I think it's whether or not the creators intended it or not doesn't really matter to me as much because I don't know. It's just a nice little cute detail that you can pick up on, and see it if you want to, and buy it if you want to, and like I don't know. It's pretty. It's not like necessarily evidenced in the sense of like oh yes, but it's like I don't know, just a little detail that you can see or not see depending on how deep you look at it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
most people tend to not look that deep.
Yeah.
But that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's more on the definitely side than the no way side.
Yeah, I don't think that there's reasons to not think that Iroh is what's it called, like more integrated. Or I don't know that his relationship with T reflects his more open-mindedness about the different relationships between the nations
Yeah. So it's definitely
on the
It-
on the
it's
right side of
here.
the axis.
Yeah. On to the next. We have a banishment scheme, one that I made up because I have to do all the work for the ATLA theories community. This theory is that Azula was planning to get Zuko banished. If he did not do it himself, she would have gotten him banished after the invasion. And the reason I think this is because she was really sus in season 3, episode 1. She had basically no reason to tell Ozai that Zuko was the one who killed Aang. It just doesn't seem like something she would do. Like, she's been shown previously to not care about her brother too much,
Yeah.
enough to, like, want him to have this honor over her,
Yep.
someone who cares a lot about her image. It's just,
She's actively schemed against him in the show's runtime. Like the first time we meet Azula at the end of season 1, right? She's trying to bait Iroh and Zuko into coming home by telling them like, "Oh yeah, you're good.
yeah.
Pops changed his mind. Come on home." And it's a plot, and obviously they end up on the run. And for Zuko to just kind of dismiss that and give his sister like a charitable, I don't know, view and say like, oh yeah, she's actually just trying to like set me up. Yeah, she's really trying to help me redeem myself.
I
in
mean,
Dad's
Zuko
eyes.
didn't think he was setting her up. Iroh
Yeah.
thought that.
No, I mean set me up in a good way. Like
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Like hook me up with the fucking
Yeah,
the
I
cred.
see.
But yeah, so I mean, it does seem more. I mean, it's perfectly in line with Azula's scheming, Machiavellian, like insanity.
Yeah,
To try
for sure.
especially given that we don't know whether or not the Avatar survived. So
Yeah, I think she knows though. Part of the theory is that she tells. We don't actually know whether or not she told Ozai after she talked to Zuko about whether Aang lived, but I think she could tell that Zuko was lying about him saying that there's no way Aang survived. She probably knew that he was lying about that. Just based on their expressions during that scene, and
yeah,
if she told Ozai after that, which I assume that she did, that's like basically just confirming this theory for me. That's why I think it's definitely.
yeah. I definitely and I do love the theory as well. Like it's I mean again I think that it fits very well with Azula's character arc towards the end of the series. Like again, she's a Machiavellian person in some ways, but she's also like slipping sanity wise and like being willing to completely throw her brother under the bus after things like or attempt to set this scheme up is like I think fitting for her.
Yeah, this is just her protecting her image. It would be if she got him banished because, if this whole thing had played out and Zuko did not, leave after the Day of Black Sun, she would not have had to face the repercussions of
Failing to kill the Avatar.
Yeah, she's the one who didn't kill the Avatar.
Yeah,
It would all fall on Zuko's head and get him banished.
Yep.
So yeah, I think this makes sense. I think, I like this theory due to my personal bias, and also it's just a good ass theory. So
Yeah. I like Azula. She's a scary character.
yeah, oh my fucking god. Here we go.
Oh, is that, okay, great.
One of the only ones that goes in the bottom left here. This theory is believed by so many people. Or I wouldn't say believed, but when I was looking for theories on the internet, this one came up so often. And it pissed me off because so many people were thinking about the Lannisters when they were talking about this. And it's like, there's a family in the Game of Thrones series that's known for incest.
Yeah.
The Lannisters are an outlier. Why are so many people talking about that?
Yeah, it's like a huge scandal that it's even happening one time within their family, let alone the entire dynasty based on it. So, but just to describe it, it's the idea that the, what's it called? Ozai's family tree has been incestuously repopulating, or in some sense.
I mean,
breeding
like the Targaryens,
breeding for better firebending characteristics or some shit. Right?
Yeah, they create purebloods by doing incest and whatnot. And people were citing evidence for that as like, incest babies in Game of Thrones are, I think Barristan Selmy says that like, when Targaryens are born, the gods flip a coin, stuff like that. And maybe that's the explanation for why Iroh and Ozai are so different.
Yeah.
And why Azula and Zuko are so different.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the fact that we know that Zuko and Azula are not incest babies, but
Yeah.
So yeah, this theory sucks ass, and I hate it.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't think there is any like strong evidence to support it, and yeah, it's just, I don't know.
Terrible in all facets.
Yep.
Whoever came up with this theory, fuck you.
The last thing we need in ATLA is incest at this point.
Yeah. All right. Balance it out with a pretty cool theory. Nomad Ty Lee.
So I guess this kind of in some way falls under NTLA, not the Last Airbender.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
It's a subset of that theory. Ty Lee, she's got, there's a little bit of reason to believe that she's, got a little bit of airbender in her, maybe.
Yeah, well, specifically air nomad, because I don't think they're all airbenders.
No, right. Yeah.
But yeah, the theory just says that because she's so, like, has these weird spiritual tics about her, like, talking about auras and whatnot, and she has a generally non-violent way of dealing with people, at least compared to, her friends who throw knives and kill people with firebending.
Right.
She'll take down people in a pretty passive way.
Yeah.
A lot like a nomad would do.
And, yeah. So the other, I guess the reasons I would suspect that, I don't know, it could fit that she could be an air nomad. Not that it contradicts her being a Fire Nation person either, but like, I don't know, she's definitely light on her feet. She's probably one of the closest characters to Aang in terms of agility and like, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Just, I don't know, quick on her feet and like insanely capable in terms of the air. And that's not even with bending, obviously. And then, and as well as her ability to take people out of combat without violence is something that seems very, like...
No, violence quotes. She still has to punch him in order to do it.
Well, yes, yeah. But is able to incapacitate her foes without... and chi block
without
them.
hurting them.
And chi block
specifically.
them. Yeah, without hurting them. Is, I don't know, I think it's a pretty big indicator. Like, that's not something I would picture in the Fire Nation very much, right? Like, why would the Fire Nation develop such techniques to chi block and that kind of stuff when you could scorch a person, whatever?
I think especially the fact that she's the only chi blocker that we know of in the Fire Nation is especially a tell.
Yeah.
Because I don't think such a non-violent way of fighting would exist in the Fire Nation without some external thing like being a descendant of an air nomad.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like, it's there's nothing that too strongly supports this theory. Like, I don't know, do we know anything about Ty Lee's family beyond that she's like has 13 sisters or something like that?
Not really. We don't know her parents. I don't think we ever see them.
And she basically just never got attention at home either, right?
Yeah, that's the whole thing that she said at the beach.
I have no idea. I mean, like, this is just pure speculation, obviously, but like, which obviously most of these theories are, right? But
yeah.
Of course, I don't know. Like, I think that you could theorize that maybe she was like, I don't know, there could be some trafficking, right?
Oh god.
So some of the airbenders that escaped, air nomads that escaped, maybe that's what happened to all their kids, right? Like they just got kidnapped by Fire Nation families, and like I don't know, I don't know. Just an idea, throwing that out
yeah,
there.
could be, could be.
I don't know.
Yeah, but for now, I think I put this. I like this theory a lot. I think it makes Ty Lee a much cooler character if it was a real thing that could ever be confirmed.
Yeah.
It's. I don't know about evidence though. Most of this is speculation.
Yeah, just
So I think
she jump.
yeah, I consider that to be touch and axe. It's not in the middle of. It's in the middle of no way or definitely. It's just.
I guess the other thing that's I'm surprised that Ty Lee and May both can't firebend. I'm like at all. You know what I mean? Like it is a little strange to me that Azula hangs out with two people who are non-benders but still incredibly effective fighters. But that's just a side tangent. So
yeah, I don't know what really to make of that. They are just rich families that were hanging out in the Fire Nation Palace.
True, yeah. Maybe just don't have bending ancestry.
Yeah. All right. Next one. Oh, dragon killing motive. All right, so this one says that Sozin's reason for starting the dragon hunt is not, honor is a part of it, but that's kind of just the cover for why we're actually killing the dragons, which is we don't want people learning the original way of firebending from them, because that hurts the war effort. If people, aren't getting angry, we're not using our hatred to fuel our firebending. It might detract from the war effort, is what the theory says. I don't know if I am really in love with that theory. It doesn't seem that likely.
I guess I think you could argue that maybe if it wasn't explicitly their motivation in terms of like let's kill the dragons in order to like kill that old way of life and reinvent like a new ideological way of understanding our firebending. I don't think it was necessarily an explicit motivation like that, but I do think that there is maybe like a cultural revolution happening in the Fire Nation in terms of how people look at their firebending, as a power, and seeing it as, being fueled by, as you said, anger or, the desire to expand one's nation or something like that, rather than a more holistic way of seeing that power within them. So I don't know. Like in some way, I do think that the industrial rebirth of the industrial birth of the Fire Nation probably would be coincide with a cultural rebirth of it too.
Yeah, I mean, besides all this, I think a reason for this theory not being true, just really good evidence for it not being true, is that the civilization, the ancient Fire Nation Sun Warriors civilization, is left untouched. Like, if Sozin wanted people to not figure out that stuff, he would have blown up all those pyramids and shit. He wouldn't have just let that slide, I don't think.
Yeah, true. If there was ever an explicit desire to cover up that past. Although, they also do say in the show that part of the reason why people would want to kill the dragons is for prestige, right? Like, they do kind of give the actual motivation. It's not to cover things up, it's to show off how fucking strong
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the point of the theory, is that that's just the cover-up for what the actual motive is.
Of course. But I think that fits. And although, regarding that point in particular, I don't think that point necessarily stands. I don't know what... That place is kind of mysterious, right? I don't know where the hell that is in the Fire Nation.
Yeah. I'm not... Is it even in the Fire Nation? I don't remember.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know. And the dragons that are there were like the dragons that Iroh spared, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I guess you could say that place was just like the last untouched, because nowhere else in the Fire Nation looks like that, obviously.
No.
Culturally whatsoever. Like, it just does not. So I think that is kind of evidence that there was a large cultural shift in recent Fire Nation history. Like, how the hell is that part of the Fire Nation? Literally, I don't know culturally where it connects to the rest of it.
Yeah. It's a bit of a world-building glitch in the Matrix, as tends to happen with the sort of shoddy world-building of this series.
Indeed. But, yeah, alright.
As it stands, I think this is a good spot for this theory.
Yeah.
I'd consider it, I don't think there's it's likely, but it is more likely than there's no way.
Yeah. I don't think that, I think I like the theory more than I believe it.
Yeah, definitely. Alright, here's one that I fucking hate. There's other stuff you can't see here in the bottom left, but this trust me, this is as bottom left as it gets. I hate this theory, and there's no way. It says that whatever weird power causes the Avatar cycle to happen got confused whenever Aang was stuck in the iceberg, and this is an explanation for why Katara is so strong, despite being just a random asshole in the Southern Water Tribe, is that she was meant to be the next Avatar. So she has, this just natural, extremely powerful waterbending ability.
Yeah. That's, I don't know why anyone would really believe this theory. It's just trying to explain why Katara is given the kind of absurd power scaling that she gets pretty early, which I think is, I don't know, people would like to use the excuse it's a kid's show. So I think I'm just going to use that excuse. I think the reason why Katara becomes absurdly, I think exceptionally powerful as a waterbender, right? Being able to defeat Pakku by the end of...
No, she doesn't defeat him, but...
Okay, well, match him at least as one of the greatest waterbenders on the planet.
Yeah.
Put up a fight against him. I don't know, it's just a theory to explain something that is just because, I don't know. Do you want to have
It's just dumb for dumb's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate this theory. I don't think that it needs to be explained, really, Katara's power.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any shot that this is real. I don't know. We don't even know what causes the cycle, really. And I don't think it just could be confused.
Indeed. Especially if you think about the timeline, right? When Katara was born, Aang was, trapped in that iceberg for another fucking 13 years. Why did it just get randomly confused, 87 years after being frozen, and it's just okay, I'm gonna reborn, I guess.
Yeah, maybe it felt like...
I'm dead, maybe? Question mark?
Yeah, maybe it felt like after 100 years, he was dead.
But that's the thing, it wasn't after 100 years. It was after 87 years.
Well, and also plus the 12 years he was alive before the iceberg around. So it's he would be around 100.
Yes, yeah.
By that time, but...
Yeah.
It's still... this is just cope.
True.
This is not. This theory's dumb. It's bad.
Why?
I hate it, and there's no way.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
First thing in the top left. This theory is fucking awesome.
I love it.
So it says that all the Judees that were chilling in Lake Laogai after they defeat Longfang for that first time, and Longfang destroys that whole base, all of the Judees died. They all died down there. Longfang did not have time to move the Judees out. He had to kill everyone as fast as possible and blow up that whole base as fast as possible.
Yeah, that shit's gone.
It's like a matter of hours between them defeating Longfang and them going back with the Earth King to Lake Laogai, so there's just no shot that they got all those people out.
Yeah. But, so why do you put it at no way, then, if you say there's no shot?
It's fucking stupid. There's no way that this is what they put in the show.
You don't think that they, canonically, drowned, that Longfang canonically drowned, hundreds of Judees just under Lake Laogai?
Yeah, it just...
I don't know. I'm definitely a big believer in the dark Avatar universe.
Yeah.
I think that.
I mean, these theories don't have to be set. I can move it if you want.
I think we should move it at least a little to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a little higher up actually too. It should be twice or 3 times as high up on the I love it scale.
That's true. It should be in fucking space.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I do not remember where the fuck the other theories were, so this could become an issue. But it's fine. We'll cross over when we get to it.
Yeah, we'll fix it.
But yeah, this theory's fucking awesome.
Judy, scary shit, and they got the brainwashing technique down, so I feel like they're replaceable, right? It's a very doable thing for Longfang.
Indeed.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, here's a You know, I think this theory might be going lower
Yeah.
because I think people who think this is like a theory that needed to be confirmed are dumb. This theory says that Gyatso used like forbidden airbending technique to kill all the firebenders that are like around his corpse.
Yeah.
And I think to that, like, what other explanation is there?
Yeah.
How is this a theory?
Yeah. We literally see Gyatso's corpse in a room with like, I don't know, a dozen Fire Nation, soldiers, like just fucking skeletons and armor. Like,
Yeah.
what happened in that room other than like Monk Gyatso being able to take all of them down at the same time? Did they
Yeah.
all incinerate each other simultaneously?
Indeed.
Like, it's no, obviously. Yeah, the only reason they fucking died is because of that. I personally think that he sucked the air out of the room.
Yeah. I mean, that's been a thing that's been used in the series twice now.
Yeah.
Once by Zahir and in the Yangchen novels.
The other theory is that maybe he pushed a lot of oxygen into the room and created a fucking explosion. Killed all of
Oh,
them.
I was gonna say he put too much air in their lungs and their fucking lungs like pops.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, indeed. He made them explode from the inside.
So yeah, this theory is just definitely. I don't think there's
yeah.
any other possible explanation really.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it should be I hate it, because I don't dislike it.
Yeah, you think this is like
I think it's just
right next to the line as
just
well?
perfectly neutral, because it's just like, I don't hate it.
I hate the people who think that this needs
Yes.
to be a theory more than I hate the theory.
Yeah, fair.
All right. Next, another true banger. This theory.
Yue's meteor.
So this is that Sokka's space sword in that episode, whatever, the sword master, the meteor that's from the beginning of the episode that he makes the sword out of, was sent by Yue. Why do you think that? It's funny, I don't know.
Yeah.
Good luck finding fucking any evidence for this one.
The meteor's in space. Yue's in space.
Yeah, I mean, they're both from space, so they must, be the same.
Indeed. I mean, sure.
Yeah, so obviously this theory is incredible and it's amazing and I love it, but there's just no fucking way.
Yeah, it's just
Absolutely no way.
pretty sure. Yeah. Although I will say one thing. There is a surprising amount of what should we say? Astronomical activity taking place during the series, now that I think about it, right?
Yeah.
What do we see during Avatar: The Last Airbender? We see a fucking comet pass by, we see a meteor hit the planet, and we see a fucking solar eclipse,
yeah,
and we see a lunar eclipse,
that's
or whatever the
pretty true.
fuck. Like, what? This is a pretty wacky season. Now that it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a lot of stuff.
Or it's just a coincidentally like insane few months
Yeah.
for this world, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
So, yeah.
Not much needs to be said about it more.
Indeed.
Kiyoshi Soprano. I made this theory up
Okay.
again.
Hit us.
So this is an explanation for something that didn't need to be explained, of course. If you remember in Appa's Lost Days, that episode, the Kyoshi warriors and Tsuki are just, around the wilderness, around the Earth Kingdom wilderness. And when they run into Azula there, all of them are carrying, like, katanas and swords on top of their fans, and it's like, what are they doing here? What are they doing with swords in the middle of the Earth Kingdom, huh?
Yeah.
And that on itself is nothing, but when you consider the Kyoshi novels, where Kyoshi herself is tied, by a bond to a bunch of, basically mafia guys. They're called like Daofe or whatever in the novels, but it's basically just like a Bender mafia, and she ties herself to these guys. And spoilers, she ties herself to these guys. I don't want to say anything else about it, but yeah. So maybe the Kyoshi warriors in present day
Have a little legacy there.
yeah have some ties to mafia.
Yeah, some organized crime kind of stuff. Like, it is a little suspicious, right? It is a little suspicious that you have this island where these, I don't know, what is Kyoshi Island? What do we see out of Kyoshi Island? There's an old man living with young girls, training with them in violence.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on there? Do we see anything more from Kyoshi? I forgot.
We do not see much of Kyoshi Island.
Yeah. So, at least the Kyoshi warriors, I mean, obviously we know that they are like a band of warriors fighting in the fucking war and shit, but yeah, it does
I don't
seem...
think they are fighting in the war.
I guess not, they're just defending their
Kyoshi
island.
joins the war because she's following Sokka.
I thought she joins the war...
Or no, she helps the people, the refugees out in Earth Kingdom, and I
Yeah.
guess that's why she joins. But
Yeah, like she doesn't when Zuko attack like their fucking house and all
yeah,
their
all their
village.
ships destroyed. I guess that's when they joined
Yeah,
the war.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, why is there this violent gang before? You know, if they're just chilling by the ocean, vibing with an old dude.
So I think they're rummaging around the Earth Kingdom like
Organized criminals.
going to go bully some, I don't know, small town with their fucking katanas.
Or maybe they were smuggling, you know, like smuggling cactus juice to fucking Bossing Say.
Yeah,
The illicit cactus juice trade.
indeed. I just think, like, this does not need to be explained. I think the creators are like, what if we gave them katanas for one scene and it was cool?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's probably the real explanation, but I think this is way cooler, which is why it's
Yeah.
pretty high on the I love it scale.
It's world building that is a nice little bit of fan world building.
Yeah. Do I think it's likely?
Eh.
Not very. But I think the fact that this connection with Kyoshi and the Mafia being real
I dig it.
gives
I like it.
gives it a little bit more than like being on the no way end of the scale.
Definitely, yeah.
Height. So next, oh shit.
No, I said definitely. Move it to definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, what's up next, though?
This one
Okay.
is
There's enough said.
basically confirmed. I don't know if much needs to be said about this, but yeah, it's like Bossing Say is literally China. The Fire Nation is literally
yeah.
Japan.
Imperial Japan, yeah. Tibet is, the air nomads, and I guess like Siberian tribes represent the water tribes.
Yeah. People have also said that Korra represents the Cold War, but in what way, I am not really sure.
So I guess maybe it's a little bit less definitely than definitely, but like it's not a one-to-one allegory with World War II in terms of like you don't have any Germany or fucking Europe or anything like that, but you definitely do see like it's so blatantly obvious that yes.
What the fuck happened to my scale on this thing, by the way?
I don't know. It's
God damn
zooming
it!
weirdly.
Streamlabs, you fucker.
Fix it in post, or do you not know if that will be doable?
It'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, so like I think there's pretty clear parallels between our universe and the ATLA universe, including Imperial Japan and the Fire Nation, so I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But
that's why I don't find this one particularly interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't need to fucking look up on the internet to think that this was a real theory. It's just it might as well be confirmed.
Yeah.
I don't know if the creators have ever said anything about it, but
yeah.
it's just the truth, basically.
Yep.
All right. Another banger here. The M. Night Players. If you know the Avatar movie, the live action is by M. Night Shyamalan. And here's an explanation for why that movie is so dogshit. It's that canonically, it was actually the movie was just a representation of how the Ember Island players would represent the Avatar world.
Yeah.
Because only they would be so fucking dumb as to
Portray the Avatar gang like that.
like say their names wrong, have their ethnicities not be correct. Like,
yeah.
it's just only the Ember Island players would fuck it up this bad.
Yeah. I like it. I think it's a very funny theory, and I don't know. It's also cute to me because like, it's live action, right? But Avatar's animated, so for our universe, the real fiction is animated.
Yeah.
But in the fictional universe, the fiction is hyper realistic, fucking Ong and Zuko
Yeah.
of the fucking just completely wrong story. So I don't know. I think it's a cute, very fun theory.
Indeed. Yeah, I love it. I don't think.
Yeah,
It's not
It's just funny.
Actually, no evidence at all.
But it's funny.
It's just a shitty movie. This is a cope theory.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a bit of a cool one.
Avatar and Fallout.
Avatar X Fallout. We're not talking about the Fallout games here. We're talking about, this theory says that at some point in the Avatar universe, like timeline, like the world just had to start over. And the reason people think this is, like the massive technology gap between, like, Avatar and Korra is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the thing is that the Fire Nation like starts giving their technology out, but do we really think that we go from there to having like fucking cars in 60 years after the events of Avatar? I don't know.
Yeah, and then also within, I'm sorry, but that's especially with the Korra's timeline. Like, how long is Korra as a series? Like a handful of years?
I think it's like a year because there's like a time gap between.
The whole series is 1 year?
Yeah, I mean it's like how Atla's not very long, Korra's not very long either.
Crap, I did not realize that. I thought it was a longer series than that. That's insane. But in that case, yeah, the tech development in Korra alone is crazy. Like, the start of the series and the end of the series in Korra has, like, actually completely different tech. Like, there's no gigantic mecha robots.
Fucking laser shooting mech.
Yeah, and there's not even the same kinds of, like, I don't know, fucking aerial equipment and shit. I don't know, but whatever.
Yeah.
Tanks, whatever.
There's, like, airships, and they have, like, grappling hooks and shit for the metal benders. Technology's crazy. And so we see like 10,000 years before the events of the show or whatever. Or is it 1,000? We see Avatar 1
yeah.
back then. And they're like not that far off from the show in ATLA.
Yeah.
Which makes you think, how are they not super technologically advanced by this time period?
How did literally nothing happen in the last 1,000 years, and then in one generation we went from ATLA to, like,
fucking
Korra.
Magic colossuses shooting lasers. At some point, there must have been, like, a time where the world restarted.
Yeah. And also, how did people not discover the other kinds of bendings before this? Like, are you telling me no one ever felt the metal in rocks before and was like, I can kind of do something with this, but whatever, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, I still don't think it's that likely. Just from speaking from perspective of in the canon, this is not canon. This is just they didn't think about this again. Yeah. They did not think that.
They made Avatar 1 look too like not primitive, quite frankly.
Yeah. They should be fucking cavemen back then, basically. But they're living in like, I don't know, it looks like kind of feudal.
Decent settlements.
Yeah.
So, all right, fair.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Aha. Buddhism is just a real thing. It's so people believe this because of Yangchen and what she says to Aang about how like the Avatar cannot be connected to the world. They can't have their worldly desires be a part of their motivations for what they're doing. And that lines up pretty nicely with Buddhist ideals.
It's pretty much a core tenet of Buddhism is to not get attached to the material world. Like, attachments to the material world will only bring you suffering. And like, I guess it is a little different in the sense of she's saying it because in Buddhism, don't get attached because you don't want to suffer, but don't get attached because you're the Avatar and you need to.
Well, the thing is that they have to be attached, and that's why they get reincarnated.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I think I might have said that wrong in the beginning.
Okay.
But the thing is that the Avatar cycle happens because of their attachment to the world, which is exactly what Buddhism says. You have to detach yourself.
That's the only way
suffering
to stop,
won't happen. Yeah.
Whereas
you want to break the cycle of reincarnation, but the Avatar just can't do it because they have to be
attached
to the world.
Yeah, and it definitely makes sense with the air nomads as well because of the fact that, I mean, their society is Tibetan. I mean, I'm sorry, but going back to the allegory stuff, it's so well coded. We understand, like, yes, this is Tibetan Buddhist inspired culture. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good
yeah.
piece of evidence.
As a slight fan of Buddhism, I think it deserves to be on the
Yeah.
halfway up the I love it chart.
I respect it.
And certainly not definitely, but
Yeah.
I think it's somewhat likely.
Yeah.
So, all right, onto a dumber one. Here's Rep Jin Yu, and this is a combination of two characters, because I tried to make these little cheeky names for all these theories. I doubt people even know the names of these characters. It's Jin Fu and Yu, which are the two guys who captured Toph at one point.
The bounty hunters.
And held her in like the metal cage.
Trying to bring her back to her parents.
Yeah, but if you remember, after Toph escapes from them, she locks them inside the metal box.
Metal bends.
And how do they get out of there?
Yeah.
They are dead.
Yeah.
They sat there and like starved to death in there because no one ever found them and they couldn't escape the metal.
I don't know, like that you put it on No Way. And I also don't like that you put it on Don't Care either, because I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely.
You know what? I think this might actually be.
I think it's.
This needs to get moved a little bit.
I think it's more probable than not, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too. Probably. Yeah.
Because, like, seriously, right?
I think someone probably would have found them at some point.
Well,
They were on their way to Ba Sing Se, and like, the Fire Nation are coming to Ba Sing Se, as we know, at the end of season 2.
But
although actually that was like a month after they would have been left there. So.
And also,
yeah, maybe they died actually.
Here's the thing: when Toph traps them in there, she doesn't just trap them in there in terms of like, oh, it's a cage and she locks the door, right? Like,
yeah.
She fucking smashes or like bends the metal shut.
Yeah.
Right? And like
they're also like, it's a tiny cage for 2 people.
Yeah,
they can't move at all.
They're literally dick to ass. Like, and they're in a tiny metal, container. They don't know how to metal bend because she just invented the shit. And they're on the road in the hot sun for who knows how long. Like, those guys starved to death.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're dead.
They're fucking dead.
I'm not even sure why I put it in the no way over there. It seems pretty likely now that I'm thinking about it more.
They have to have died.
And it's funny that they did.
Yeah.
We never see them again.
Indeed.
And no one ever brings up, because we never see like Toph's dad or anything ever again. He's not like, yo, where the fuck my bounty hunters at?
Fucking dead.
Anyway, alright. Another one by me. This is a theory about like the production of the show, pretty much. I think that there was more plans for the swamp tree in that episode. Or the Banyan Grove tree, or whatever the official name for it is.
Yeah.
I think there was more planned for that. Because that episode is so weird. We have the tornado randomly grabbing them from the fucking sky and like bringing them down to the swamp. We have the hallucinations, prophetic visions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as a fan of prophecy in storytelling, I think they should have used it more, and I think they might have even intended to use it more.
Yeah,
but they just didn't.
Yeah, I think that it's one of those areas where you wish that Avatar had 7 more seasons just to explore more world building, because like there's so many different places in Avatar is such a huge world, and like. We really could. I mean, 7 more seasons is obviously absurd, but like we could have revisited the swamp and had other perhaps mystical experiences there. Although, wait, did we ever return to the swamp like one time?
Yeah, in Korra there in the swamp. Well, Toph lives there.
I was gonna say, didn't Aang return to the swamp with the guru or some shit, or am I misremembering?
I don't think so. I mean, he had a flashback of that time. I think.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I don't think he actually ever returned there.
Yeah. But yeah, it's obviously a place of great spiritual and mystical power in some sense. So like,
there's still no real explanation for that tornado that randomly grabbed them. Like, what was the deal with that?
Literally, it just came out. It's actually just a magical tornado.
It's an Airbender tree. There's more evidence for the not the last Airbender theory. So yeah, this theory is really cool. I like it. I would have liked if they used prophecy in general, but connected to the swamp tree.
Yeah,
I think it would have been cool if they used it, but I just don't think it's possible. It's that possible.
They should have returned.
Yeah. But now we're on Bloodbending Origins, which is Yeah, it's connected to the Axis, so I don't really love it or hate it. But I thought of this theory again. Basically, the origin, or actually no, I think I might have found this one online somewhere. But it says that the origin of bloodbending is not Hama. Hama did not discover bloodbending, or she wasn't the first one to use bloodbending. She did discover it for herself.
Mm-hmm. Reinvented bloodbending.
Basically, the thing is that the arbitrary rule about how if you're a more powerful bender, their bloodbending can't affect you, is actually not a thing, and that one of Aang's previous lives, a waterbender, was a bloodbender, and that's why the Avatar state is able to, resist whatever Yakon's bloodbending is because some previous waterbender had a bloodbending, and is therefore able to counteract.
Yeah.
So I just don't think it's likely, and I don't really think it adds much either. To be honest, it explains a thing that might be considered a plot hole, but I don't really care too much about it.
To be honest, this is another one of those cases where I don't think that we need to invoke it for that reason, where it's like, oh, maybe that's how the Avatar state can resist bloodbending. Like, I don't care about it for that reason. I have a hard time believing that no one figured out or even attempted bloodbending, before Hama, right? It's just, like, incomprehensible to me. It's so obvious that, like, if you've seen blood before and you're a waterbender, you would try to bend that.
Yeah.
Just obviously. So, I don't know. The idea that no one's ever tried it before seems suspicious to me, but I don't think that it needs to be a necessary explanation for, resisting, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so this is a good enough spot for this.
Yeah.
I don't care about this theory too much, but I wouldn't say I hate it, and
yeah,
I don't think it needs to be real anyway. So here is Troll Kuzan. Which I like this theory a lot. Based on the extremely limited knowledge we have about Kuzan, I would say that, this theory says that the phrase "Flameo Hotman" is actually a curse word. Flameo is a curse word that Kuzan told to Aang to just say to people as a troll. And the reason that people say this is because in Korra, I think Lin says, like, what the Flameo? As in, what the fuck? So is Flameo a curse word? did Kuzan, like, tell Aang to just say fuck you to random people as a troll? I think it'd be pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, if Flameo means kind of like fuck, then Hotman, fucking Hotman,
fuck you.
Yeah, or maybe he's calling him hot,
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a funny, cute little theory, and I think it's decent.
I like it well enough, and based on what we know about Kuzan being a troll,
yeah,
I think it makes
good sense. Yeah, fit character.
Ah, yes, the best one.
Killer Aang. Oh,
my only theory in the top right because it's so real.
So, okay, I think I would have agreed before 2 days ago, but I don't know anymore.
What?
We've seen counter evidence to this just the other night.
What do you mean?
Fall damage is not real.
Fall damage is not real. What about the people in the fucking, like, the boats in the end of season 1?
What about them?
He murdered those people.
Okay, yeah. So, but you can still claim that he was in the Avatar state.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Okay, but what about?
But then he should be able to use the Avatar state to kill Ozai.
Yeah. What about the at the Northern Air Temple? Remember he like pushes those Fire Nation troops off the cliff?
Yeah.
Like a fucking avalanche.
Yeah, there's no fall damage in the Avatar universe.
What about the avalanche fucking burying them to death?
Shit.
It's also off of a fucking mountain. Although I mean, I guess there's no fall damage. It's
no fall damage. But no, okay. To be fair, yeah, I will say the avalanche burying them that could kill them. That could still kill them. So yeah, fair. I guess there is still, I think, a good amount of evidence that suggests that Aang has killed people.
Yeah. Don't even make me break out the fucking calculations for the blue spirit.
Indeed. But no, there's no fall damage.
Yeah, there's no fall damage, so I guess you can just be hit with like I don't know what the final numbers were, but it was like enough force that Aang hit with those people enough to like break all of your bones like times 50.
Indeed.
It was pretty cool.
But it can't kill you. It can shatter your entire, skeleton, but it can't kill you.
Indeed, Aang turned a bunch of Fire Nation grunts into fucking
Jello.
bone jelly.
Yeah.
But they're alive, though.
They're fine.
He
They'll
didn't kill
recover. Okay, yeah. And I think Aang really is a cold-blooded killer at the end of the day.
Indeed.
Like, we all have to come to terms with it at some point in our lives. He kills bugs.
He killed those fuckers.
He definitely
He killed that one bug in the desert.
Yes, he did. He absolutely murdered that bug. And I don't know.
I feel like I could cherry pick the series more and find more instances of people that he might have just killed.
Yes.
Like, by mistake.
And, okay, so the other aspect of this that I want to bring up is that Aang was okay with killing people at the beginning of Season 2. At the beginning of Season 2, we have that scene, we've talked about this before, we have this scene with the General Fung,
Yeah,
General Fuckhead.
General Fung.
Yeah. And he is, he's talking to Aang, and he's like, bruh, like, you just used the Avatar state to wipe out the Fire Nation fleet. Can we do that and take out...
Oh yeah, I forgot about that piece of evidence.
Yes, it's, like, critical. This is my biggest gripe with people who can't accept that Aang killed people or could have used the Avatar state to kill Ozai. The plan from Season 2, Episode 1, was to potentially use that state to fucking end the war, whatever, and just go fucking end the Fire
Aang was
Nation.
going to go along with it.
And the only reason that he didn't want to go along with it, or the only reason he ended up not going along with it, was because the only reason to access the Avatar state that they could find was by threatening the lives of Katara and Sokka, his friends.
Yeah.
So...
Not even Sokka. He didn't give a fuck about Sokka.
He just simping. So, he decided to fucking take off. And, that's why that didn't get resolved. But if you go back and watch that episode, you really do see that Aang comes to terms with the fact that, like, he has a duty as the Avatar to end the fucking war, even if that means, like, using...
Killing Ozai.
Yes, and not doing it the quote-unquote correct way of... quote-unquote mastering all four elements when even if you look at previous avatars, they don't do that. Like, Kyoshi didn't master all four elements before saving the fucking world. Or like stepping up to the plate. Like, no, you have to step up to the fucking plate. You can't fucking pretend like, okay, well, I'm just gonna not be violent because I haven't perfected everything. Like, okay,
all you just said is a good point, and that's not even what I was going to talk about with that scene.
Okay,
is that he says to Aang, like, oh, everyone knows about how badass you were killing those, defeating the whole fleet. And Aang's like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
Or he doesn't say I did that, but he doesn't deny that he did that.
Yeah, like, he doesn't seem to, have any moral, what's the word, consequences that he's burdened by.
He doesn't have any moral dilemma by,
thinking about the Fire Nation soldiers who might have drowned.
There's
in the fucking...
a 0% chance that no one died when he killed all those boats.
Even
when he, fucking destroyed all those boats.
Even Iroh says...
0% chance.
Even Iroh says, at one point in the show, if, the gang didn't find Aang and Zuko up in the cave, the frozen cave, then Zuko would have died. So, I'm pretty sure that it's cold enough to kill a lot of people if they fall in the ice cold, northern...
Counterpoint.
Yeah.
Zuko just fucking swam in the freezing ice cold water with literally just, normal clothes, and he was chill.
Well, yeah, but he did take time to warm up after, right?
Yeah, but you would die from fucking hypothermia if you're in...
Yeah, that is true.
Arctic water for upwards of
different.
10 seconds.
It's the incest. It makes him ice resistant.
Yeah, it's true. Targaryens are fireproof, and
Zuko is
ice proof.
Yeah, yep.
He's got fire inside him.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, Killer Aang. Basically true theory.
Yeah.
I think it's true, and I love it because...
I think it's the way that it should be.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Avatar should be fucking killers.
Yeah.
Gangsters.
That's why Kyoshi and Yangchen are so good.
Hell
Spoilers. Keck. On to the next. Dumb Zuko.
Dumbass Zuko?
This is a really, really funny theory. This says that Zuko did not know the characters' names until the Western Air Temple in Season 3. Because he does not say any of their names until that point.
Yeah, he just refers to Aang as the Avatar, basically.
Yeah, and he just pretty much never refers to Katara or Sokka that I know of.
Yeah, or Toph for that matter.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
Pretty obviously dumb theory,
yeah,
I think. There's no fucking shot that he does not know their names. He just doesn't have a reason to be calling them by name.
Specifically, yeah. So, but it's a fun one.
It is a funny theory.
Yeah.
And I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I think it would be so fucking funny if it was a real theory.
It would be. I would
But
love
it's
to
just
see,
not.
I would love to see what's it called, like a end credit scene where Zuko does approach them and he's like, about to say the first thing and he fucking is stumbling through the sentence and he realizes that he doesn't know their names. He's
Yeah.
like,
He's so awesome. Unfortunate, not real.
yeah.
Alright, I'm actually going to uncover two theories here. Because these are both Zahir related. I grouped these together. These are both two different explanations for why Zahir is so interested in air nomad culture. And so this one that it's currently highlighted is Acolyte Zahir, which says that he was part of like Tenzin's whole thing he's got going on with the air nomad island, where he teaches people about the air nomad culture, and they're called the air acolytes. So allegedly, Zahir could have been an acolyte, and he did something at some point that made him be banished. Get sent to jail with his weird fucko friends.
Yeah.
And yeah, but that would be why he's so interested in air nomad culture and why, how it takes part in his, ideals for being fucking anarchist.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I think it's definitely one of those. I do agree with your placements, is what I should say. With like this one, hate the other one more than
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So Aang's son Zahir is, the other side of the coin is that he was only interested in air nomad culture because he is an air nomad, or I guess, he has air nomad blood in him. He's Aang's son, which it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
There's no way that the characters would never say anything about their
Aang
relation to Zahir.
Yeah, Aang has another son, and we just don't mention it.
Yeah, and I don't think Aang could have hidden the fact that he had another fucking son.
Yeah,
It's just not possible.
And presumably as well that Zahir would not be with Katara, right? Like,
Yeah.
so that's just another red flag.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb, and I hate it.
I don't see.
Honestly, it could be lower, but I think it's only here because there's some theories that are at the bottom left that are between them.
Yeah.
But yeah, bad theory. I'm kind of a fan of Acolyte Zahir.
Yeah.
It's certainly a much better explanation than him being Aang's son.
Yeah. Next up, we got the N Tribe tragedy. So the
Yeah.
Northern Water Tribe might have had a little bit of an encounter with the Fire Nation at some point within the last 100 Years War. And there's a lot of interesting evidence that points to this.
I should say the reason why this theory exists before we even get into the evidence.
Indeed.
It's that
Well,
there's a stupid line in I think the Waterbending Master or
towards the end of season one.
towards the end of season 1 somewhere when they're in the Northern Water Tribe, the dude who commands the Water Nation like Navy or whatever, he says that they haven't engaged with the Fire Nation in 85 years. And I think that seems like a really strange number.
Right.
Like how could they not have engaged with the Fire Nation in 85 years?
Yeah, like and that's such a great question, especially when you think about the 100 Years War in. Like, seriously, what is the 100 Years War? What are the events of the 100 Years War?
The Fire Nation is 1/3 towards victory as the war starts.
Literally, yeah.
The war begins with them genociding the air nomads.
Yeah,
and then they say, all right, we got the Water Nation and the Earth Kingdom next.
Yeah, which also, I'm sorry, why'd you go after the pacifists first?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you should have fucking prioritized a little bit better than that.
Indeed, if they fucking rolled up on the water tribe first, it would have been such a non-issue.
Yeah, and so yeah, that is kind of a strange thing. So presumably, and we do know that they've obviously done a lot more raiding on the Southern Water Tribe in the 100 Years War, because by the time Avatar comes about, that the Southern Water Tribe is essentially destroyed.
Indeed. So yeah, that the Southern Water Tribe thing is a part of this theory. That's one of the like pieces of evidence. The reason it's called the N-Tribe tragedy is because we think there is some engagement 85 years ago
With the Northern Water Tribe specifically.
where both sides had something happen, that some big tragedy that neither of them wants to talk about, and they came to some agreement as to not fight each other.
Yeah.
And the Fire Nation would have fucking free reign with the Southern tribes, because
The Northern Tribe was
at
too
no
crippled.
point does the Northern Tribe ever try to help their sister tribe. There must be a reason for that, other than, I don't know, too far.
Yeah. Crippled and bored. I mean, I think that's the most likely. So, okay, and to what's it called? Get more specific. The tragedy that, I mean, I think or the most likely thing that we're thinking about here is that maybe the Day of Black Sun, as we saw in Avatar, actually was an event that had happened maybe 85 years ago on this invasion. Is that the same part of the same theory, or is that just my spec? Okay,
I mean, that is a facet of the theory that could be done.
Mm-hmm.
I personally do not think that is what happened, because there's a number of reasons why it doesn't make sense for that to be the case.
Tell me about it.
And I think the first and foremost one is that why would no one mention this? If this is a thing that happened, I think it wouldn't have been a tragedy for both, I think it would have been, this shit happened, the Fire Nation got fucking owned after that, and then why would the Northern Tribe be so not wanting to tell Aang about this?
What I was thinking is that maybe the Northern Tribe was getting really fucked up, but then the solar eclipse happened.
Yeah,
and then
that could be.
Essentially we're able to repel the Fire Nation, but we're so like crippled essentially by the invasion in the first place that they couldn't I don't know, resist
that makes
much.
sense. That makes sense. But also, I would assume that the Fire Nation is not fighting on one front only. If the Day of Black Sun happened, they would have also been fighting the Earth Kingdom at some point.
True.
In which case, why the fuck does no one in the Earth Kingdom know about?
Yeah, the Day of Black Sun. Because, I guess you could say that technically solar eclipses are not a global event. Like, you can't see a solar eclipse from everywhere, but I don't know, even then it seems a little...
We know that the Avatar world is all on one side of the world.
Indeed, it's a flat Earth.
Indeed.
Unironically, that should be a theory, but, yeah, it is, I don't know, like, there does seem to be there has to be some greater reason why there hasn't been war between the Northern Water Tribe and the Fire Nation for 85 years. That doesn't make sense, except if there was a tragedy we haven't heard about.
Indeed. Hey people, Dylan from the future here, coming in to say that we forgot to talk about some really important details in this theory that make it even more legit. So, in the library, we learned that Zhao visited Wan Chitong's library at some point, looking for a way to deal with the Northern Water Tribe. We also learned that he destroyed the evidence of whatever it is he discovered. It's implied that the evidence destroyed was about the darkest day in Fire Nation history, which might lead you to believe that the tragedy we're talking about 85 years ago was in fact the first Day of Black Sun. Like we talked about already, it's maybe the case that the first Day of Black Sun is the tragedy we're discussing, but it could be that it's merely a coincidence that the gang found out about the solar eclipse. Maybe the records that were destroyed by Zhao were about a different sort of tragedy. Either way, I think Zhao's presence in the library adds a lot to the credibility of this theory. Anyway, back to the video.
Next theory.
Yeah. Wait, is this... No. Yeah, okay. I thought I had these two fucking linked, but I guess not. So, Drill Massacre. This theory says that all the people, the engineers and the army that was supposedly on board the drill that was going to the Wall of Ba Sing Se, Long Fang killed all those dudes.
Yeah.
We don't see any evidence that there even was an army. We don't ever see the guy who was running the drill again. I think his name's War Minister Chin or something like that.
Yeah.
That guy never gets seen again.
Yeah.
We don't see any evidence of there having been an army on board there.
Yeah, it's
You might even argue that Aang destroying the fucking drill like he did actually murdered a shit ton of people. but you know.
Potentially drowned a lot of people on the drill, actually. Like,
Yeah.
when you think about it, if you're, burrowing a hole through an earthen wall using, fucking water or whatever they're using, because it's like sludge and shit that's
Yeah.
coming out the end. And that's not coming out the end. Like, it has to flood internally, right? Like,
Yeah. I mean, that's how they beat the drills. It
And-
floods up all the fucking goddamn, like, parts of the drill.
indeed. So, like, a lot of people had to die.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know why it's on the no way side of the spectrum. I think it's. I do genuinely think that there's not much explanation for what actually could have happened to those people to not die.
Yeah.
Like, they're actively invading a city.
Indeed.
Usually, I assume.
But I mean, I think it's more on the no way, particularly because we don't see any of their bodies, and we don't see, like, him taking prisoners or anything like that. We don't see these fucking people, so, they probably escaped, but...
I don't think so, because where are they going to escape to? They're coming through the desert.
Yeah.
Like...
How the fuck did Azula escape, for that matter?
That is also factual. Fair enough. I would say it's likely that a lot of them did get captured or killed in that invasion attempt. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that... I don't think we necessarily have to say Long Feng, massacred them all in execution-style lineup. But
Indeed.
I do think that it is reasonable that a lot of them died during the invasion, and then a lot of them probably were at least captured and held prisoner of war or killed. Because, they do want to keep the war on Ba Sing Se on the down low. Like,
Yeah.
the more you keep alive who know about this shit.
Yeah, no, I say I'll move it, like, here, because
Yeah.
I also don't really care for this theory too much.
Why not?
I mean...
It's more evidence and kill.
I guess, but what the fuck does this add to the series?
I don't know.
They just shouldn't have had someone say that there's an army on the drill. They just shouldn't have added that line to the show if they were not gonna do anything with it.
Yeah.
So this is an explanation for something that didn't need to be there.
Low-key, season 2 kind of has a lot of issues, but
Bad.
Yeah. We'll discuss more.
Yeah, it's for another video. All right,
Combustion-
combustion bending origins.
Is this?
I don't know if I should change this, but because of the fucking.
Oh yeah, this is actually kind of just spoiler territory, isn't it?
No. Well, this isn't even what I'm talking about.
Okay.
This is about why the combustion benders have the tattoo.
Oh, like the
You know what? I
Hindu
think Yangchen fucking disproves that this is a theory, but whatever. Is that they get their power from the tattoo on their
right.
head, and that
Yeah.
the tattoo is literally just the same tattoo that Shiva has.
Yeah,
The
like
Hindu god Shiva.
Yeah.
I should pull those fucking pictures up.
Do it in post.
Yeah, I'll do it in post. This is gonna be bad for the quality, but you on screen currently can see that a picture of Combustion Man with the
Tattoo,
3-pronged
yeah.
tattoo or whatever, and a picture of the Hindu god Shiva, who is known for opening his third eye and destroying everything in front of him.
Yeah.
So I think those ideas and the visuals are,
Very interrelated.
yes,
Do you
it might as well be confirmed.
and you think that something in Yangchen contradicts? Potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
The thing is, it is written by different authors, so I feel like that's one way of understanding it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
For now, I think it's definitely confirmed
Yeah.
that they took this idea just directly from Shiva.
yeah, and I think that
And I think it's pretty cool.
yeah, I think that it makes sense also relative to Buddhism. Like
Yeah,
obviously culturally connected.
indeed. Heck. So next, oh boy. This is one of the only theories that goes in the bottom right, as you can probably see already. This chart is pretty top heavy. But yeah, this is energy bending both ways, says that Aang can just give people bending, because energy bending goes both ways. The lion turtles can give people bending, they can take away people's bending. Aang now has that same power, I assume.
Yeah,
We don't know shit about Aang's energy bending, really.
yeah.
All we know is that he uses it to take Ozai's bending, and he uses it to give Korra her bending back.
Yeah, it's kind of implied that the energy bending that like the lion turtles used to give the original benders powers is like the same energy bending that Aang is using against Ozai.
Yeah.
So I guess the only reason I consider it less likely is just because we never do have explicit confirmation of it, where it's like Aang does use the power, someone else does use the power to imbue someone else with bending. Although I guess that's also not true because Aang does use spirit bending to give Korra her bending fire,
Yeah.
to give her air bending at least, or is it all of her
He
powers
gives
back?
her all of her bending.
Yeah, all of her, other bendings back. So it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I guess there is a little bit of evidence to suggest that is how it fucking works.
Yeah, I think it's definitely. I don't really see that there's a reason to not believe this.
Personally believe energy bending is non-canonical, and I don't believe that is a thing that happened in the show.
Yeah?
Have.
I also like to block the last episode out of my head.
Yeah. Although I will say, one brief critique that I've given before is that it's all Deus Ex Machina, that the lion turtles came out of nowhere and they never referenced it earlier in the show.
Yeah.
Technically not true.
I mean, that's not part of my argument for why it's bad.
Why? Or what, you just think it's like boring?
It would be bad regardless of
How well
lion
it's built
turtles
up to
being
it.
established as a power that can
Yeah.
give people bending earlier in
Fair
the show.
enough. Yeah.
It's the writing that's bad, not the establishment that
Yeah.
the lion turtles are a thing that exists.
Well, I mean, I take particular issue with it because of the fact that it's so literal last second resolution in a magical way. But
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think that you could have done better writing.
Indeed.
Whatever.
This isn't part of the theory anyway.
Yeah, well, you can cut this out of the theory. Never mind.
But yeah, I hate it because
Energy bending.
I don't like
bullshit.
energy bending.
bullshit.
Terrible power, terribly written.
Yeah.
Just don't put this in the show.
Why? Well, why make?
Yeah, and it's definitely true too. I don't think the lion turtle would purposely give him a weakened version of energy bending
Yeah.
just to take Ozai's bending away.
Yeah.
So, yeah, reincarnated animal guides. And I don't like this one super a lot. It says that the animal guides like Appa will be reincarnated into the next avatar's animal guide because they all have an animal that's special to them. And it don't make a lot of sense to me, specifically because of Kiyoshi's animal companion, because she doesn't have an animal companion. She takes her mentor's air bison, and that's the animal that's with her for her story. It wasn't originally her companion from birth like it was with the rest of the avatars that we know of, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Like Yangchen has her air bison, Aang has Appa.
Yeah. And also,
Korra has her stupid polar bear.
why? I don't really understand the value in this theory either. Like, it makes sense in the Avatar's context of reincarnation, right? He can access the wisdom of previous avatars, but what can the animal companions access the wisdom of previous animal companions? Like, I don't know. What does it mean for an animal to be the reincarnated spirit of another animal? And we also do see what is his name? Avatar Roku's spirit dragon in Avatar, right? Like, we see him
Yeah,
in
if his spirit is there,
Yeah.
it's going to be in
it wouldn't be
the
in
current
Appa.
animal companion. Yeah.
So I feel like it is contradicted by that in some degree if they are the same thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, just generally, I don't care much for this theory.
Indeed.
And I don't think it's very likely either.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Although I guess I would also say that's not a contradiction, because that would be like saying fucking Aang existing while the spirit of Roku existing is a contradiction.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
yeah. So never mind.
Regardless, not the theory I care about too much.
Yeah.
But this one, though, this one's pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
This one says that Amon, season 1 Korra villain, he is either a descendant of Ty Lee or was taught by her, because he's a masterclass at chi blocker, and we only know of one other chi blocker in the series, so how else could he have learned to be such an amazing chi blocker if not from her?
Indeed.
I think it is pretty cool as theory because it's just a cool idea to use chi blocking more.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been super lame if they didn't use that idea ever again, considering how ridiculously
Powerful, yeah.
strong it is.
And one of the only means by which non-benders can even the playing field before technology, at
And
least.
I mean, it's used as such a good plot point in Amon's whole revolution
Hell yeah.
plot line.
Absolutely.
It's so good.
I think It would have been interesting if there was more evidence to suggest it. I think it is definitely an interesting theory, but
Yeah. We don't know Amon's parents other
Yeah.
than Yacon, who is clearly. I mean, we don't see his mother, is what I should say.
Mhm.
And we obviously don't know anything about who taught him to chi block.
Right.
So it could be, this is an explanation that will never be confirmed ever.
And Amon is also a, what's it called, bloodbender, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's because his dad is a waterbender, right?
Yeah, his dad was,
Yeah.
the super big bloodbending mafia guy.
Yeah. And that would mean that if he's also, fucking, what's it called, chi
Oh,
blocker.
he could also have air nomad.
Yes,
What?
he's also an air nomad.
Oh, shit.
Amon, and he's a descendant of Aang. He's Aang's son,
Hell yeah.
even though it's physically impossible.
I don't know, that'd be a pretty funny connection.
Yeah.
This guy is also somehow an air nomad. He's connected to Aang in that sense, at least.
Yeah. Wait here. How could it work?
We don't
Aang-
even know how the fucking air nomads themselves have children.
Aang hooks up with Tai Li,
Yeah.
and that becomes Zahir, and then Zahir is cousins with Amon.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's how they're connected. He teaches him chi blocking.
Oh, and that's why he breaks them out in my rewrite.
Hell yeah, they're cousins. That's how. All right, what's the next theory?
But yeah, I think this is a good
Yeah.
spot for this theory.
Yeah.
I don't think it's I wouldn't put it all the way up and I love it, but I do think this would be a pretty decent theory, and
Mhm.
it has pretty much no backing. So,
Yeah.
heck.
Speculative.
Next, sandbenders or airbenders? I think you should explain this one.
Yes,
This
sir.
is all you.
This is one of my theories. Personally, I am quite convinced that sandbenders are airbenders, or that it's more probable that sandbenders are airbenders rather than earthbenders, is what I should say.
Yeah.
And there's a few pieces of evidence that I use to support it. For one thing, the sandbenders are nomads, just like the air nomads are nomads, right?
Yeah.
And it fits into that not the last airbender kind of genre of theory as well, which we gave a lot of credit to. It's hard to believe that all the airbenders died, so I do think that it would make sense that some of them might have escaped into the desert and continued their culture in their own way.
Yeah, and might have even hidden it behind sand bending.
Exactly.
Something like that.
Exactly. Like trying to conceal the nature of their bending technique. And another reason I believe this is because of the fact of how they actually bend sand in comparison to like Toph, for example. Like Toph is barely able to see in the sand, and she's like a godlike earthbender. So the idea that she's not able to use sand in the same way that earthbenders can when she's able to metal bend and like also just I don't know is otherwise an insane earthbender seems obscene. Like it's crazy. And also they don't use sand in terms of like bending it like earthbenders bend regular earth. They use it to create like tornadoes to fucking like push their sand sleds forward, which is like airbending. It's not really like
I mean, it looks a lot like what airbenders do with like the airbending ball, or like Aang summons plenty of little mini tornadoes along the series.
And isn't that what they do when they actually find one in the desert? Like they find the fucking broken one in the desert and they like use it to escape when they don't have Appa. Like
Aang airbends the sail.
Yeah, Toph's not like earthbending the sand beneath them to get out. Like, so I don't know. It just seems kind of like more probable to me that these nomadic fucking.
I'll move it a bit more to the right.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. No, I don't know. It's just, and I do like the theory as well because I think it's more interesting if fucking I don't know. There's like more alt forms of airbending, I guess, that are not fucking
that are just hidden from the rest of the world.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty cool.
Also, swamp people are also airbenders. That's my coming theory. Tune back in next episode.
Indeed.
Next scene.
Next theory. Oh shit! I knew this would happen eventually.
Overlap. It's the cabbage conspiracy. So this is a great theory. It's an internet theory, right?
Yeah.
It's it's the cabbage merchant is committing insurance fraud, to become a rich and powerful.
Yeah, he's purposely getting in the way of Aang's shit
Yeah,
so that he like gets his shit destroyed, and he's cashing in on that fucking insurance.
and there's the good evidence to support it. Like he does have the multinational conglomerate or whatever in Korra's.
Yeah, he's fucking rich.
Yeah, so
He's got it made.
and how
You know what?
could-
Actually, he's got it made like a year after the events of the show.
really?
Like, I think in the comics, he's like rich as well.
So
Maybe I'm misremembering, but I think he's like actually.
and that literally does not make sense if his actual job is selling cabbages,
Yeah.
because he's had multiple financial catastrophes within just one summer. So the idea that he would get rich so quickly, either it's war profiteering off of hunger and famine, or it's insurance fraud, and he knew what he was doing.
Indeed. And either way, it's a conspiracy.
Yes.
Yeah. This, I think it deserves to be even more right.
Honestly, yeah, I agree. It's too coincidental that this would happen so frequently.
Yeah. He's got to be a fucking mastermind. There's no way.
Yeah.
Keck. Next. Yeah, anyone can combustion bend. Alright, so I'm just going to preface this by, to explain this, I'm going to have to spoil the main plot point of the Yangchen novel. So if you don't want to hear that, just don't listen for the next, few minutes, probably.
Yeah.
Alright, spoilers.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Do not listen to this. You
Yeah.
don't want spoilers.
We should timestamp the video, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I will do that.
Yeah. So, but the idea here is that combustion bending is accessible to anyone. Anyone can get initiated into the fucking technique.
Yeah, so there are combustion benders in Yangchen. The whole plot point of Yangchen is resting on these merchants having this big thing called unanimity, the Unanimity Project. And the whole book we're like, what is this? What is this Unanimity Project that gives these random asshole merchants leverage over the Earth Kingdom? And it turns out that they're combustion benders, but they don't have the eye tattoo on their forehead, which comes off to me as very, very strange, because I considered that previously to be
Necessary.
a requirement, and
Right.
maybe even a bloodline thing.
Yeah. Also, it's very confusing because what is it? Just aesthetic or coincidental?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did Combustion Man accidentally just so happen to have that tattoo on his forehead before he became a combustion bender?
Indeed, and
I think so.
yeah, the people in Yangchen, the three combustion benders, say that they had to do bitter work in order to obtain their powers, which it implies to me that you can just train hard enough to become a combustion bender.
Yeah, I think that.
And we don't even know that they're firebenders, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could lessen this theory by saying that it's only firebenders who can do it, but I think it's anyone.
And I think that makes sense considering the fact that it's Earth Kingdom merchants that are doing it, right? They're not. It's not like it's the Fire Nation coming up with.
I mean, it's just it's any affiliation. The merchant guys. I think one of them is
Okay.
Fire Nation.
Okay, fair enough.
In the book.
But yeah, that's kind of confusing. I wondered.
Yeah, I put this theory in the I hate it section because I don't think they needed to retcon combustion bending like this. It seems weird to have combustion bending be connected so thoroughly to the three eye tattoo or whatever,
Mhm.
and then just have these guys not
have that.
have
yeah.
any connection to that at all.
Yeah.
It's just weird. So I hate it. I do think it's extremely likely. Just at least for firebenders to be able to combustion bend or to learn it.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to lightning, because
Yeah.
of course lightning also takes a lot of work to learn
Just a
to be
technique.
good at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
So yeah, I hate this. Yangchen, single-handedly became the worst of the three novels by just having this be the plot twist, but I still think it's a good book, even despite this.
Reasonable.
So, alright, here's another bottom right. I should have separated these maybe, but we were talking about this earlier. There is no fall damage in the Avatar universe.
Yep. Unfortunately, I do think that this is a fairly proven theory. I'm concerned. I might have to think on this theory a little bit more. Because I don't know if I believe it, right? Because there are moments where characters I think are falling from heights and they are scared, which
Yeah,
would not be the
plenty of times like that, I'm sure.
yeah. So there's that doesn't make sense in a world where there's not really any consequences to falling.
Yeah.
But on the other
And then
hand,
there's also incongruent scenes with that idea.
yes,
Like, Azula getting fucking blasted at 10,000 miles an hour
indeed,
during the drill and just being fine later.
yeah, off screen, blasted into oblivion.
Yeah.
And similarly, in that same exact part of the episode, fucking Aang running up, like, I don't know, an Empire State Building worth of Bossing Say, and then sprinting down at full speed head first at a rock.
Yeah. And it's just... And he lands, like, at maximum speed. He's hit terminal velocity.
Yeah.
There's no shot he's living that in a world where there's fall damage.
Fundamentally, the only thing you have to ask is, does, what's it called? Equal and opposite reactions exist in the Avatar universe. Like, if you
Indeed.
slam into a, rock at 50 miles an hour, does that rock also fucking smash into you? But I don't know. I think maybe this isn't confirmed because of the fact that we still know that people are afraid of heights. But maybe that's just a fucking, they'll hurt their bones kind of thing.
Definitely.
They won't die, but they will fucking turn into jelly.
Yeah. It's down in the I hate it section because it just makes the show worse that this exists.
Yes, you need to have fucking consequences for gravity.
See, gravity must exist for your show to be good.
Yeah.
I get. Oh god. Oh god, not this one.
Littlefinger.
Alright, I mean, for anyone who doesn't watch Game of Thrones or read it, this will not make any sense to you, but there's a character named Littlefinger in that show. He's big mastermind guy. No one even knows what his plan is in the books. I think in the show it's explained what his ultimate goal is.
Be a fucking idiot and try to fuck a teenager.
Yeah.
I think is the idea.
Littlefinger is, he's such a genius fucking mastermind guy. Like, he's so smart. And Littlefinger, or Long Fang in the show, in ATLA, is a fucking dummy, like, stoopy idiot.
Yep.
His plan doesn't make any sense. It has no direction. It's just stupid. It's so stupid, but it has to be actually smart.
Yeah.
It's all planned.
There has to be some deeper meaning behind Littlefinger's goals that we don't understand. Because, I mean, it's hard to believe that he is as stupid as he comes off. And, actually, real quick, I wanted to draw another parallel, which is that they were both ruthless and rose their way to their positions despite being born in not, like, super relevant circumstances.
Do we know that about Long Fang?
I thought Long Fang was maybe not. I thought Long Fang was confirmed to be just like a fucking.
I have to go back and look at that. But
dude, fair enough. Maybe it's not the case, but in any case, he's clearly like a fucking powerful figure in Ba Sing Se. He's arguably the most powerful figure in Ba Sing Se.
I mean, not arguably.
Yeah, right. He
controls the everything.
I guess the military might be the only other thing because they control the outer walls and stuff. But like other than that, yeah, he controls the internal functioning of the Dai Li and the entirety of Ba Sing Se. So the idea that he doesn't have any actual control and will just get speech checked by Azula and whatever, like, is just insane. Maybe he is a Fire Nation plan, and I think we've floated that theory before. Or
all this theory really is that there has to be something more than what the show gave us about Long Fang.
Yeah.
He has to have some other plan.
Absolutely.
Like, he just can't lose so easily.
I mean... Wait, so why do we put this as I hate it?
Because I hate that this needs to exist.
Yeah.
I hate that it's my job to create this theory because they made such a dog shit character.
So, but in that case... Well, I guess, yeah, fair. Because even with Littlefinger, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, fair.
Yeah, and it's just, there's no way.
He is just a fucking...
They just
pawn.
didn't make this character very good.
No.
They just had a cool idea and fucked up the rest of it.
Yeah. Secret police, but what if they were actually just like...
Little cowards.
Speech checked.
Yeah.
For the first time in 100 years.
So fuck this theory.
Yeah.
Get to another one. which is the comet is a solar flare. I had to look up some fucking science for this one because, yeah, most comets, I know there are examples of ones that, can orbit and tend to be on a schedule, like
Halley's Comet.
Halley's Comet. But comets generally do not do this. They don't come back around on a set schedule, and especially like 100 years
Pretty quick.
is a no pretty long, is right?
I thought Halley's Comet was like 87 years or something.
I have no idea, but
I don't
still,
know.
100 years for a comet to be orbiting like that.
Highly elliptical orbit or some shit.
Who knows? And also, why would a comet give firebenders power?
Indeed.
They get their power from the sun, right?
Yeah.
So wouldn't it make more sense if, there was another science thing, like a solar flare that does happen on a schedule and is part of the sun, which gives the firebenders their power?
Indeed. Like, also, like, I don't know. Yeah, there's just no mechanism for why a comet coming close would, like, cause firebending to get wacky. I mean,
It's a big fireball.
Yeah. So, like, does a hot day fucking cause better firebending, too?
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah, I don't know. Like, and obviously there is the no way aspect of this theory. That is, we see the fucking rock flying through the sky.
Despite all the science that I just said, there's no shot. We see that it's a fucking comet. It's not a solar flare.
The counter evidence against that is that the writers don't get to determine what canon is. I do.
Indeed.
And no, yeah, I do think that if you were to have a Avatar Brotherhood, you could have a fucking solar flare. I mean, I guess the thing with solar flares is they're not as predictable as comets. Like, if Halley's Comet comes back...
Isn't the thing with solar flares that they're more predictable than comets?
I mean, we know that they're going to happen more frequently than comets, but we can't predict when they're going to happen.
I see.
Yeah. So. But, yeah, whatever. Theory.
Yeah, fine theory. There's just no shot. We know that it's a comet. We see it multiple times.
Makes a little more sense than a comet, but...
Yeah, I think it would be pretty cool if it was true, because, maybe it imply that they put any actual thought into the world building, but...
Indeed. Although I guess you would have to call it, like, Sozin's, like...
Sozin's flare.
So, yeah, Sozin's flare. True.
Yeah. Alright, these are two connected theories. It's about character's age. So, if you know who Guru Patik is, remember that guy. I don't think people know this a lot about him, but he is extremely old. Obviously he looks old. You'd assume he's in like his 80s or something like that, or maybe higher, but he is at least like 150 years old, by my estimation, because he says that he is a personal friend of Monkey Gyatso.
Yeah.
Which is very, very strange to me. Which means he's...
At least 100
well over 100 years old.
Yes.
You could say maybe he's the same age as Aang, like 112.
But
I think he says he's a close friend of Gyatso, which would I assume mean that he would know Aang.
Yeah, and yes, like
interact with him as a kid. But Aang doesn't know who he is, so maybe he's like an adult, and he wouldn't hang out with Aang if he was an adult.
Yeah, they wouldn't
back then.
They were definitely not mutual friends. We know that. So, however Gyatso knew Patik, then that he didn't know Aang through that connection, obviously. So, like, I don't know. Wait, also, what air temple was he at, Patik?
I forget what Aang's is. He's the southern one?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's the southern one.
Yeah.
Fake fan.
Yeah, indeed. That's embarrassing now that I think about it. But, yeah, so, anyway, fucking his age. Yeah, he's old. He's old as fuck. Pretty much confirmed, right?
At least, I think, Aang's age, but probably higher.
No, I think he does have to be older than that. Because, like, would Monkey Yatsu be a close personal friend with a 12-year-old that Aang did not know at the same time?
Yeah, they definitely would have had to know each other.
Yeah, so, like, I do think he has to be older than Aang.
Yeah, so at least,
and
I would say probably, like, 150 to 180 range.
Yeah.
If you want to go even fucking crazier than that, you could say that, like, that wasn't even, like, the first thing. He goes back even farther.
Yeah.
Maybe he was already, like, 100 at the time that he knew Gyatso, and he just has some sort of secret to aging.
Yeah. And obviously, like, with the Avatar universe and, like, the spiritual world aspect of it, like, he's obviously a character that is fucking in touch with that in the same way that, like, Iroh or other, spirit world.
Also, we should say that Earthbender aging, which is the thing that's
Yes.
connected to this. There are tangible forces that allow you to age slower
Yep.
that we know of,
Yep.
basically, because there's multiple Earthbenders that we know of in the series that are way older than they should be to be alive.
Like fucking Kiyoshi living to
Yeah,
300 and
Kyoshi
something.
is like 200 plus when she died. Boomy is well over 100, and like people like Roku, he died at like 70 something,
Yeah.
and Boomy is still fucking chilling at like 112 plus,
Yeah.
however old he is.
Kiyoshi died at 200 plus, whereas Korok died at 30 or 40 or something
Well,
like that.
Kirk had a lot of issues in his life that are spoilers from the Kyoshi novels.
Fair enough, yeah. But he died, relative. Okay, well, he didn't die of natural causes, I guess is the
Yeah.
point. But yeah, Earthbenders do seem to be built different, kind of.
Yeah, Earthbenders. This theory posits that there's some technique that allows them
I think
to live longer.
it's connected back to like the cultural understanding and basis in our world of, what's it called? Confucian. What's the idea of like conserving your chi? Do you remember like Fox talking about that at
Fucking
a point?
goddamn, I don't remember that.
So yeah, like there's an idea in Chinese like culture that like basically you only have a limited amount of chi in your life and you don't want to expend it. So you gotta once you expend it, you die. So you gotta live long by maintaining good chi
Yeah,
balance.
do some resource management.
Yeah, so I think it does fit that Earthbenders would be good at maintaining their chi, given that they are like
That also seems to connect with Patik as well. I feel like he's the kind of person to be
absolutely,
conserving his
yes.
energy.
I mean, he talks about chi with Aang early,
Yeah.
multiple times
Also,
throughout
remember when he's just like sitting there for actual days in front of Appa?
Yeah, yep.
Literal days. He just wakes up, goes back to sleep, doesn't eat, doesn't drink.
Yeah.
How is he built like that?
He's built fucking different. That's how you conserve your chi.
Yeah. I wish there were more theories about the Guru. He's
Interesting
such
character.
a mysterious character.
Yeah, like he's just not a what's it called? He's not like any other character
Yeah,
that
he's a
we
fucking
really see.
enigma in the Avatar series. Just
Yeah.
he's so strange.
That's why I also wanted to develop what's it called? Like a fucking bossing say whatever. Iroh's spiritual journey aspect. Maybe he runs into the Guru.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Where even is that theory? We'll get to that about Iroh.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Also for the Earthbender aging thing, there's a character in the Kyoshi novel. His name is like Lao Gay or something, and yeah, funny. He's like a super old man. I forget if he's an Earthbender or not. He might be a non-bender, to be honest. I think he's an Earthbender though. He's super old. He's like an assassin, and I think it's implied at multiple points in the book that he has some sort of secret to long life, and that he taught Kyoshi, and that's why she has lived such a long life as well.
Gotcha.
So it's a pretty high chance, I think, that there's just some Earthbender technique.
Yeah.
I feel like this should be fucking moved over.
Yeah, I was gonna say make it more likely than not because I definitely do think. Whoops. I definitely do think. I mean, it's not even.
Yeah.
It's not even a theory. I feel like he's definitely an old fuck. He's definitely 150 plus.
I don't even know what exactly the theory of this is. Just a statement.
Yeah.
Patik's age. He's super old, guys.
Unknown. Maybe immortal.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally, he might be immortal.
Yeah.
He never spends his chi or whatever.
Yeah.
Shit.
All right. Another theory then.
Yeah. Right. Hama's fault. I didn't really know how else to say this theory, or to what to call this theory, because the theory says that it was, indirectly Hama's fault that Katara's mother was killed by the Fire Nation.
Because
As soon as the Fire Nation discovered that bloodbending existed, because Hama fucking
bloodbending
killed
people,
/ injured a bunch of people with it, they would immediately consider the Southern Water Tribe to be a threat again, and that's what caused them to do their final set of raids that finally eliminated all of the last waterbenders.
Yeah.
Including Katara's mom.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think this is pretty likely. I feel like I should move this one as well.
Yeah, I think in an indirect way, yeah, I think that Hama is kind of responsible for that series of events, I guess.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe it's even definitely because I don't know why else. It would be kind of cool as well if it was Hama's fault, just in world.
Mm-hmm.
They don't mention it at all, which I feel like Qatar should have.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely is likely that it was indirectly Hama's escaping from that prison that led to Qatar's mother being dying.
Yeah.
Being dead.
Which is, I mean, in and of itself, a butterfly effect on the whole rest of the universe. So
Yeah.
technically, it's Hama's fault that Ozai died.
Yeah, it's technically Hama's fault that Korra was a terrible show.
Indeed. It's technically Hama's fault that we're making this video.
Yeah. Next? Oh, fuck, I should have... Yeah, here's this thing. This is even more obscure than the Drill Massacre theory. This is the airship that the gang escaped Boiling Rock with. It was Azula's airship that she flew to the Boiling Rock. And this theory says that the gang just killed everyone on that ship. Because we don't see anyone. There's no people on the ship left. There must be at least some engineers or whatever on there. And it's not like they would fucking allow them to stay there.
Yeah.
So they either threw them out into the middle of the ocean or just killed them.
Yeah.
Either way, they're probably dead.
Yeah. It's a real problem with the Avatar universe in terms of what to do with prisoners of war.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously the Fire Nation's pretty brutal, but the gang can't be as brutal as effectively. But yeah, I mean, what are you gonna fucking do when you need to escape using someone else's airship and there's crew still on it?
Indeed.
I was surprised that that's what this was referencing, because I thought this was going to be the airship massacre where in the finale Sokka and
Oh yeah.
we're celebrating, gather for the birthday celebration in Dock 2.
All those people died?
I mean, probably.
This could be a joint theory.
I think, we can call them the airship massacres.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of those people had to die too.
They died.
Because
they're in the middle of the fucking ocean with armor.
Yeah, and
haha, funny. We dropped them in the fucking ocean with this stupid joke, but those guys are dead.
Yeah, actually, unironically, another case of the gang kills people.
At least it wasn't Aang that time.
Yeah, we're gonna pretend they don't.
Yeah, this theory's stupid. There's no way in the canon that this happened. It's just my personal headcanon that this happened.
But if you include the other massacre, that did happen.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I don't think it adds much to the show.
Yeah.
Maybe if the thing with the ending, what Sokka did to those fucking people, I think it maybe
yeah,
adds to that being a plot hole, but
I mean,
I don't feel like moving this theory too much.
You're
it's fine here.
Yeah, I don't particularly care about either of those events in the show's greater context. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't think it impacts anything.
This is nothing to me. Okay, the next one. Oh my god. You know what? We're skipping this one.
Okay.
Momo's ancestor. All right, so this theory says that the Ai spirit from Avatar 1, he's friends with the funny little monkey spirit back then. And Momo is supposedly a descendant of that spirit, which is why he's attached to the Avatar. It don't make much sense to me, to be honest. I just read this theory online.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have much to say about it. To be honest, I didn't care too much about the Avatar 1 story plot line in Korra as much.
That's crazy that you say that, because so many people were like, that she was the best part of Korra.
Bro.
What?
No. Not at all.
It was okay.
I think the villains were the best part of Korra. Come on.
Yeah.
But
this theory, I don't care much about it.
This is a true neutral. No evidence, no care.
Yeah. Someone speculated about it, therefore it's a theory that goes in the list.
Indeed. You're welcome.
And it's not a ship theory.
You're welcome, fucker. You made it.
Yep. Duh. Oh, okay. I guess this is also connected to Momo's ancestor. This is that Gyatso reincarnated into Momo.
Reincarnated
I put this...
Momo?
Yeah. People believe this because, like Momo sees Aang, and if it is Gyatso's spirit in there, that's why Momo led him to Gyatso's corpse.
Okay.
That's it.
I disagree with this theory because why would he be reincarnated 100 years later?
Into a fucking animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that deserves to be in the no way.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Momo's also just stupid, like, animal. Like, he's a
Well,
dumb
people
animal.
also say that, Momo has a sense of humor like Gyatso did.
Okay.
But that...
Actually, Momo kind of plays Pai Sho like Gyatso.
Yeah?
Like, almost...
What do you mean?
eerily the same exact play style.
Yeah. Might even fucking be the Avatar. But he's kind of like Kuruk.
He kind of is.
Alright, Keck.
That would be a funny thing to include.
Yeah. Where the hell? Oh, undiscovered cultures. So this is partly related to a frame from Korra where we see the planet from above in the sky. We see that basically all the continents that we know of are on one side of the planet. There must be some undiscovered cultures on the other side of the world.
Indeed.
And, probably even undiscovered cultures within the continents that we know.
Yeah, I think, well, I have trouble with this theory in some ways because I will say I feel like the waterbenders should have been able to circumnavigate the globe.
Yeah, but why would they?
Because they're fucking waterbenders. Why the fuck not? You can do whatever the fuck you want.
They just gonna go surfing into the unknown?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Polynesians were doing it. They were, colonizing a bunch of islands in the middle of the fucking Pacific. You know,
maybe their children just sit in their tribes dough.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I think there's evidence against it in some ways, but I also do think there is evidence for it because we do see the Fire Nation like ancient.
We do literally discover cultures that people don't know about in the show. So. Yeah.
And it's strange that the real question is there a continent on the other side of the planet?
Yeah, I guess
that's the question.
Indeed, the wording of this theory could be better. Yeah, I still feel like it's pretty likely.
Yeah, I think there's a whole nother side of the planet to explore.
Do I care that much about it? Not really.
Actually, I disagree. I think there's evidence against this.
What?
If there's people on the other side of the planet, they're not benders.
Why is that?
Because if they were benders, then the Avatar would be responsible for serving them and keeping balance within their societies too.
So an Avatar would have had to be born there at least once?
Yeah, and that would mean that the fucking world that we know would not have an Avatar for a generation, and people would be like, where the fuck's the Avatar?
See.
So I think that
that sounds pretty wacky.
Like there can't be another bending group.
I mean, even if they're non-benders, it still counts as undiscovered cultures.
True.
Yeah, fuck it. It stays here. I don't really care to move it.
Fair enough.
Keck. Here it is. Peak bending. Oh god, overlapping again. So, flying is peak bending for airbending. Literally just unimpeded flying, no glider required.
Just fucking...
we know of 2 instances where airbenders could just fly, given, some extreme set of restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
Which, don't apply to Zahir. One of the things that you're supposed to have to, be flying is all your worldly desires are gone.
Yeah, which is not
so
true.
After Zahir learns to fly, he should no longer care about anything to do with Korra, but he's still the villain after that.
Yeah.
His ideals clearly don't change very much after that, so what's the deal?
Yeah. If and I feel like given the fact that he does have motivations, he should just stop flying midair at some point. Like he's flying to the store and he's like, damn, I really fucking hate Korra. And then he just falls out of the sky and plummetes down. Yeah, but actually no fall damage, so he's fine.
This isn't relevant to the theory anyway. The theory is just that there's peak bending for the other types of bending as well. I
think that this is a pretty good theory. Like, I don't know. So
I think it's just cool. Which is why I put it up here.
Imagine if with fire bending, right? Or I guess with air bending, it's more about like achieving like this state of not having earthly attachments and desires. And since fire is a lot more about like passion and anger. I feel like with firebending, peak bending would be like getting so angry you light on fire and burn to
Nah,
death.
that's not the real firebending.
You know,
It's about life.
True. It's about I don't know, fucking.
Yeah, I don't know what peak bending would be for firebending other than lightning or combustion bending.
No, I think it actually is getting so angry that you explode into flames.
Combustion bending, but you actually are the one exploding.
Yeah,
You can learn to spontaneously combust as a firebender.
indeed.
And that's peak.
And then let's see, peak water bending is
Yeah, people said underwater breathing, but
yeah,
that seems pretty fucking lame to me.
And easy.
To be peak.
and yeah, I feel like peak water bending would be becoming so being able to freeze yourself so thoroughly that you cryogenically freeze yourself. Kind of like
Yeah.
Aang. Aang actually might have achieved
He's peak water bending.
Yeah. And then I'll go with, let's try to speculate peak earth bending.
Peak earth bending.
You know
I
what?
mean, I don't know how much more peak you can go than what like
Metal bending?
Kyoshi fucking does.
Oh, yeah.
Like creating a literal entire island.
True.
Like she's just such a ridiculously powerful earthbender.
Yeah. I don't know. The other thing
I mean, it doesn't have to be a special type, I suppose, for it to be peak bending.
I feel like
I mean, if just power level is what it takes, I don't know.
maybe it's earthbender's got a rock hard cock.
Yeah,
That's peak earth.
indeed. Maybe there's some fucking wacky element they can bend in the earth.
Indeed. Fucking element 115.
You know, the new Avatar is gonna literally bend the fucking moon into the planet as an
Indeed.
attack.
Yo, fucking Avatar, Call of Duty, Nazi Zombies crossover playlist.
Indeed.
Alright. Another theory.
Yeah. Oh, here's one we talked about earlier. Iroh is part spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Iroh is, pretty spiritually connected in the series. He can see spirits, which is not a thing that anyone other than the Avatar can do, normally without some special circumstances like having been to the spirit world for yourself.
Indeed.
So, and there is also a precedent in the series of someone being part spirit with Yue.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Iroh is part spirit. I feel like it's not very likely because, he could have just like been to the spirit world or, study it in some aspect. He doesn't have to be part spirit for him to be able to see the spirits.
Mm-hmm. I think he is most likely part tea spirit.
Yeah.
He's got the spirit of a hot bowl of leaf juice
Indeed.
in front of him. No, but I do think that there is obvious evidence that he is involved in the spirit world in whatever pursuits. It's unclear what, I don't know, ultimately his personality is in terms of the spirit world, but I think it's a cool, neat idea.
Yeah.
And we do see him living on the spirit world uniquely, right, compared
Yeah.
to other characters. So,
Indeed.
a little bit of evidence, I'd say.
Yeah. It's certainly not in the no way, all the way to the no way, I think. It's
Definitely.
sort of likely.
Yeah.
And I think it would be pretty cool if that was the case as well.
Yeah, I
Not-
think-
Not that it will ever be confirmed.
Yeah.
So... Oh, common equivalents. This is similar to peak bending, which is that there are equivalents to Sozin's comet for the other bending types.
Which is kind of confirmed in some ways.
I mean, the moon for
Waterbending.
waterbenders, but
It's
for
unclear.
airbenders and earthbenders, like what
Yeah.
could it be? I don't know.
I guess if you were talking about like sciencey explanations, right? I feel like if you were really trying to make it real, using the moon for water makes sense. I think, as we said before, solar flares make a little more sense than comets for firebending. And then I guess you could have some shit with like, have you ever heard of a pole shift?
Yeah,
You know what those are?
I mean, vaguely.
Yeah, like the fucking North Pole and the South Pole swap places, basically, and
Indeed.
the magnetic poles realign. Maybe you could do some shit
How
like
often
that.
does that happen?
Like once every 120,000 years.
Yeah, nice.
So make
Yeah, that sounds pretty legit.
Yeah, make earthbenders insanely fucking cataclysmically OP during that shit.
Indeed.
Like, fucking create new continents OP. And then for airbenders, like,
Yeah, there was like actually nothing I could think of.
yeah, like,
If we just think about weather events, that why would like a tornado make an earthbender or an airbender stronger? I don't know.
yeah.
Don't make sense, and it's not like there's like what else could it be? I don't know.
Maybe like, when an airbender eats too much chili. Once in a lifetime event.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would like to see equivalence there. I think that it's only fair.
Dude, it could be explored in a sequel series.
Please do. Brian Konietzko and DiMartino, please hit us up.
Yeah, put me on the writing staff, fucker.
We have clearly thought about this shit too much.
Indeed. Yeah, we're getting to the bottom here. All the theories, we're almost done. Here
Shit
is.
sang the Ripper.
Yeah, this is a stupid fucking theory that I thought of. Again.
Shit sang.
So, you know Jack the Ripper, he's, a very famous serial killer. And so Chit Sang, at some point, during the plan to escape with Sokka and all, he is bringing, like, his girlfriend and one other person with them on, like, the boat to escape. And later, when they actually escape on the gondola, they're not there. So clearly the only explanation is that Chit Sang fucking murdered them.
Yep.
Because why would he not mention his girlfriend again? He just ditched her?
Yeah, he's a serial killer.
Indeed. Why else would he be in the
Boiling
prison
Rock?
for war prisoners and extremely terrible people?
Is he a firebender or is he a...
He's a firebender, yeah.
Yeah, so what did he do, Like, he must be either a common criminal... No, not a common criminal. What's it called? A political criminal or a fucking...
Serial
violent... Killer. Yeah, a hyper-violent menace to society.
Yeah.
So I do love the theory.
Badass theory.
Not a lot of evidence.
I'm good at making theories.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's stupid. There's no way.
The only evidence is the lack of the appearance of two characters. So.
Chit Sang in like 3 scenes in the show.
Yeah. And his side gang.
Oh god, oh god. Airbending cultures. Oh, you know what? Do we even need this one anymore? We got the Sandbender one.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are other airbenders. Basically, we know that.
If you don't believe this, you're a fucking dumbass.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah, dog. Lucky idiot Fang. So Long Fang. This is just the opposite of the Little Fanger theory. Basically, it's just Long Fang is a fucking dumbass. He had no plan, and that was it.
He's just managed to get where he got.
Yeah, he just got extremely lucky to even get this far with being a political actor. No one challenged him.
Yeah.
This is why he just folds whenever Azula just does anything. Is because he's actually a dumbass and no one had previously attempted to take power from him ever.
There's literally never been a contested election in Earth Kingdom history.
Indeed.
Secret police just rigs every election.
Yeah. The dog shit theory should honestly be in the no way, but no, it's here.
Yeah, I mean, it's... to be fair, in terms of no way to definitely access, there's no evidence that Long Fang ever did have a plan. So, I mean, he is...
Indeed.
I think there is evidence to suggest that he is a fucking idiot. And lucky to be in that position in the first place.
It's so funny that Long Fang literally would have lost if Aang did not stop the drill.
Indeed. Yep.
It's just so... If Aang was not there, like if he was 2 days late, the Earth Kingdom would have just fallen like right there and then. Because he doesn't give a shit about the military. He doesn't do anything with that. They're clearly not prepared to deal with it.
The fucking army was literally incapable of even fucking...
beating Ty Lee.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. You have an army and it gets destroyed by a 14-year-old circus kid.
Indeed. So yeah, fuck Long Fang. Dumbass. I love this theory, though. I guess we're already here. We might as well talk about the last 3. Here's Sokka's Red Death. Which sounds like a badass theory, but it's just like, Sokka died to the Red Lotus.
Maybe.
Which people think this because
don't know
allegedly
anything.
He had some interaction with the White Lotus. Maybe he worked for them. The White Lotus obviously did clash with the Red Lotus at some point, so maybe Sokka died during some point there.
And we also just don't know shit about what happens to Sokka after ATLA, kind of.
We don't know anything about Sokka's death. No one talks about him in the series. Katara never even mentions him for some reason. Yeah.
It's a theory. I feel like... I don't know.
I feel nothing about this theory.
Yeah.
It just exists.
Yeah. Pure neutral. Momo's ancestor.
All right, last one. Another one I feel nothing about.
Lin the Duke?
Yeah. So Lin Beifong.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of theories about Toph's children, but I chose this one specifically because it was the only one that piqued even a tiny, nanoscopic amount of interest in my brain.
Yeah.
Which is that Toph got with the Duke.
Like, is the Duke the gigantic guy or the fucking little...
No, he's the small boy.
Yeah, okay. What was the other guy's name?
Pipsqueak.
Yeah, Pipsqueak. Yeah, okay. So why? Why the fuck?
Like, apparently people think that Lin kind of looks like the Duke.
Okay.
But, I guess I'll put up the pictures in post, but I remember looking and thinking that this is stupid.
Yeah.
But, we ain't got any other explanations for who Lin's father is, so fuck it, just the Duke, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's fair enough. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Fuck the Duke.
The rest of these theories are way cooler.
Yeah. Jet survived.
Indeed. Jet survived is a fake one that I'm not putting on here.
Wait, also, what character was a horse?
Oh, yeah. I wonder if the word a horse was ever used in the, novels.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
A bison.
A bison, yeah. Yeah, never mind. I was gonna say, what's that sentence? Like, buffalo, 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 buffalo. I think you can say buffalo like 9 times in a row and it makes a sentence or something.
Nice. English moment.
Well, thank you for watching our bad media moment.
Yeah, media bad. ATLA bad.
Say the N-word.
Keck.
Subscribe.
All right, this video's over.
Like and comment and subscribe. And
also, my
comment.
ranking video will be out in 17 more years.
Also, subscribe and like and comment.
Subscribe, please.
And like and comment and subscribe.
Bell. Hit the bell.
Hit the bell. Ring the bell. Media bad.
Shut up.